All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday on this beautiful Wednesday morning. All right, so let's get to it, guys. We had quite a bit of a nice list yesterday. A lot of things that moved well right at the open. A little bit after things got a little bit choppy. So again, some moves were not clean right off the bat, but we did have to get a few movers, like APA. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Here. Like APA was one of them. MU had a great move as well. AMD, I believe, was okay also. So let's go through these. So here we have, guys. Just want to do a quick mic check also. Make sure you guys can hear me, okay? Before we get going on both chats. All right. Yep. Excellent. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So you guys can hear me loud and clear. Very good. All right. So APLS. Now this one, guys, had popped up, I think almost about 40% or so. I don't remember the exact number around this area here. It was pretty high. And then pre-market just started going and it completely sold down. It actually started trading really well in the pre-market. Some of you guys took a trade in the pre-market here. For a short, you can see how this 44 level was no match for what was happening here. It just kind of broke down from that and went straight to this 43.29 level that we also had here. Broke down for that also as well in the pre-market. I mean, and coming into the open, there's a beautiful rising devil here. This is just perfect because you have the drop coming down. You got the nice pop right at the open, and then just a beautiful drop right back down, continuing its downtrend again. So just very, very well. Now, the one issue, I was watching this one very closely, and I definitely got some FOMO. We were talking about it in the chat. The one issue with this one was the way it was moving, right? It was the spread was not great. And also, some of these pullbacks were very aggressive. The price action was moving between 50 cents easily. So it's tough to take a trade like that with my style of trading. So again, overall, this traded very well. If you're in the pre-market, you definitely took advantage of a beautiful, nice drop here. Just a beautiful downtrend on AP that was giving a lot back. Then eventually later on, it kind of pulled back, almost getting towards the VWAP here. So you got a nice reversal happening here. And then eventually just kind of went sideways for the rest of the day, for the majority part of the day. APA here we have APA actually was looking like it was going to be a good opening range breakdown. Once he did this engulfing here, then towards the bottom it kind of recovered, but it was making lower lows on the 5, so it was looking like it was going to lose it. But again, one thing that Brian is good to remind us is, do not short any strong stock. And this stock obviously was very strong, gapping up nicely. It did recover very well. And look at the pop. Once it broke out of this 30.19 level, which we had here, look at the resistance at the pre-market. Was trying several times to break out of that and it couldn't. It became a beautiful long. So again, this one was a very nice. Thor took this trade while some of you other guys as well took this one towards the long side. Look how beautiful this thing traded, following the 9 EMA and never really looked back. I think the entire day just was bullets for the entire day on this one, APA. So again, APA, if you look at the daily chart, they might be active today as well for a possible continuation. They've been having some serious runs the last couple of days. It's just very nice here, gapping up. It gapped up here, did the same thing, ran up pretty well, consolidated, and today, yesterday another gap up, and we'll see what it does today towards the open. MU was one, guys, that and talking about MU, Norm, good morning, and you took this one yesterday, and a very nice entry.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it took one small one at the open, and I didn't like the way the orders were coming through. So I hopped out of it for a little gain, and then I gave it a second, and I noticed once it was going to break that 55.80, I knew it was going to take off. So I got back in from 55.80ish or 75 to 56.40ish. It was a nice little ride. Got out quickly. I just the pullback felt kind of imminent there, and it sure as heck came, and then gave a really nice all day trend.
Yeah. This pullback was a little bit too aggressive. Not more so in this area here because you're still above the VIA, but once it stayed below the VIA for such a long period of time, it starts to get concerning in this area here. So again, too much of an aggressive pullback, but man, it got back up above the VWAP, hit the high of day again, and then some. So if you were able to get even back in here, that would have been nice also. So that was MU, guys. Again, a little bit of a rough start here in this area because again, this was too deep of a pullback, but then eventually came back and traded very well. And look how it just took off here. Hitting some of these levels. We have 57 all the way up there on the daily. So again, traded very, very well. SQ on the other hand, SQ was very choppy, guys. I thought it was going to trade up a little bit better. But look at just the open, just again, not a lot of volume. Also, you had the second candle here has some volume. The volume seemed to have died down, and then you really didn't get a lot of any type of patterns on SQ. So again, just nothing good happening there. Later, it did kind of settle down, broke out as somewhat of a nasty wedge per se, but again, not really anything that would have been as clean. The 5 minute looks clean now, but the price action again, which is very difficult to read. Brian and I were trading live. We were thinking about taking this long because we had no conviction that it was going to squeeze up the way it was trading with the price action. Next, we had AMD, guys. AMD was a beautiful opening range breakdown. If you can see here, had a nice, beautiful breakdown. You have a great pullback towards the VWAP on the second 5 minute candle. That could have been a great entry for the break of the low of the candle here. I missed this one, unfortunately. This is my type of trade, but I love to see this type of opening rate breakdown here. Unfortunately, I did not catch this one. You can see the beautiful drop. It really takes off after your entry point, your entry signal here. It takes off and never really looks back. So it's a nice, beautiful drop on AMD there. Next we had was Tesla. Tesla also had a beautiful opening range breakdown and then a very quick reversal. This would have been a very tough reversal to take because look at this 1 minute candle. It just takes off the other way. Doesn't give you an opportunity or a pullback into a couple of minutes later. And at this point, it might look like it might be heading down towards the low of the day. So this is a bad entry here. Or not a bad entry, a tough entry because the risk to reward on both sides is right at it's not great. So again, just a tough trade to take here. But Tesla, good open range breakdown towards the bottom, and then kind of like MU after it did it. I'm sorry, AMD after it was a little choppy, kind of settled in, and then went for a beautiful run here towards the end of the day. All right, so that's what we had yesterday, guys. A lot of stocks again. Some of them started very choppy. That seemed to have gotten better towards the end. Norm, what do we have today in regards to the SPY or anything going on this morning?
Man, it has been a wild ride the last 12 hours or so, 24 hours. So, um, as I'm sure most, if not everybody, has seen in the news, Iran fired 15 missiles at U.S. bases in Iraq, sparking a massive sell off after the close yesterday. Futures were down like 1.5% when all that took place. Thought I was going to wake up to a bloodbath this morning in the markets, and we've turned green. So it's given it all back. It just shows you the resilience of this market, how strong it is right now. There's some speculation that Iran felt like they had to do something to save face, so maybe they fired rockets intentionally missing critical targets, kind of hitting some stuff where they knew people wouldn't be and such.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of an interesting scenario. We're back to green this morning. We had private employment numbers come out that were just gangbusters a few minutes ago. We were expecting to add 160,000 jobs in December versus November number of 124, and it actually came in at 202. So, really just showing the economy right now is clicking on all cylinders. And then for the rest of the day, really, there's not a whole lot more economic data. Consumer credit comes out late this afternoon, but I'm like 3 p.m. And then there's some Fed speakers tomorrow and December job numbers and such on Friday. So anyway, quite interesting. Like I mentioned yesterday, I will have my Benzinga squawk on to see any headline news that comes out, see if that might do something to the markets, because it could happen quickly if it does. We do know that President Trump has mentioned he will be making a statement on the Iranian missile attack. He will be speaking at some point this morning, so we'll see what happens there and if that moves anything as well.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, we'll definitely be on the lookout for that. A lot of events happening over the last couple of hours. All right, let's get into our list, guys. We have some good names in here: Macy's, BYND, and so let's see what we got going on with them. So I know BYND
Beyond the meat.
Yeah, beyond the meat. Let's start with that one. This one yesterday's got some news that their competitor is going to be out, right? Of their run for McDonald's.
Well, Impossible is not going to be a McDonald's, so that's pumped them on the potential. Maybe they will be in with McDonald's, which would be obviously a big win.
Yeah, so yesterday that spiked a 12% rally on BYND. This morning they're very active, 713,000 shares traded. If you guys remember, this is a stock that, again, just with hype, and a lot of stuff happening here. Them getting to deal with Dunkin' Donuts, and now they're in Dunkin' Donuts. That happened a while ago. But with all the stuff going on, look at the spike. This thing went all the way up to 240. So it's got the potential to really catch on fire and get going. This McDonald's deal is going to be huge for them if they can, finalize everything in that area. So this morning they're up quite a bit, 4.7. That's after running up 12%, closing up 12% last night. So again, a lot of the run was done yesterday, hitting this area of resistance here. As you can see, we dropped down quite a bit, consolidating around this 75, 85 area. We're breaking above this 85 area now, which could be a good indication to change the direction of this thing. So at least get a direction lately, which has been just kind of chopping around, right? So we have a lot of room to run here. We have some good levels we can mark down later as we get to the that part of the show. Next, we have Macy's. My issue with Macy's is how choppy it can be all the time, or most often than not. Macy's is very choppy, especially at the open. So not sure we can expect out of Macy's. Norm, is there any news, significant stuff happening on Macy's today?
Yeah, they came out and it wasn't earnings, but they reported that how sales were for November and December, and they were much stronger than than people anticipated. So they're getting a nice pop out of that.
Okay. All right. So we'll see again. What I love about Macy's now, the daily, we're getting above this area of resistance as well. They also in a similar situation. They got this gap that happened here, this gap down. We're at the bottom of that, using it as the high of the day for somewhat of resistance. You also got the moving average coming in here. So a lot of technicals here that can make Macy's a little more interesting into the open. Again, definitely will be on my list. I'll just be very cautious that Macy's, unless I see a very clean move, it can be very choppy, especially right at the open. So good volume, 1.3. Not creating a great pre-market activity. Well, actually, no. If you take these wicks out, it's not that bad. You got a nice flow to it here. But again, 1.3 million shares traded, up 6.3. Definitely watching this one today. STZ. STZ, we have this one's up 3.4. I don't like the way this thing is looking here. It doesn't look like a lot is happening. Again, just a couple of small block trades looks like here, creating this volume, 115. Pre-market's not looking great. Daily chart does look interesting in the fact that we do have this consolidation here. If these guys have some news today, they can break out of that. That would be nice. Had a big drop yesterday, kind of bounced back up 3.4 this morning. So again, that could be interesting. Any news on STZ, Norm?
They had earnings. I have not had a chance to dig into it yet.
Okay.
So as soon as I do, I will fire back at you. It just came out a few minutes ago, and my morning's been a little nuts, so I apologize.
No, no worries at all, man. Now, I am noticing down their regular volume seems a little bit on the lighter side. One of their biggest days is usually about, 4 million shares. So again, so we'll have to see how this actually trades in the intraday.
Yeah, it's not that. Another reason that I
Yeah.
put this one kind of lower on my list is it can be a little bit difficult to trade. You can see the spread right now. You've got over 50 cents there. You've got 94 to 49, so 55-cent spread on it.
Yeah, so you want to be cautious with that. So again, might not make our final list. We'll keep it on here. See if the catalyst is anything that can be worth watching. But overall, it's just not looking all that great in the technicals. LK, this one right now, pre-market activity's got 219,000. We got some pretty choppy pre-market action at the moment. It has been in play, not in play, but at least trading very well the last couple of days. A lot of you guys have been watching this in the intraday. I have not put this one on my list just yet. Usually when this stock comes up, we have plenty more that look great, so it has not made the cut. So let's just take a quick second here. Let's look at how it has been trading the last couple of days that you guys have been watching as well. So yeah, so it's got some decent patterns here. What I don't like about this is the volume. The volume just seems a little bit on the lighter side. Actually, no, this is 5 minute. No, this is volume. Yeah, volume just seems a little bit on the lighter side, right? I mean,
so they're dropping on news of an offering. Now the offering is it's convertible notes, so it's not just a straight up secondary or anything like that. But there's actually there's something about a 12 million secondary, 12 million share secondary, and then also a $400 million debt offering. So it kind of dilutive here. That's a little bit kicking it in the butt.
yeah. So again, not sure about this one. We'll keep it on here and check it out a little bit later. WBA. So WBA this morning. What do we have here? This one, wow, nice big drop, 5.6 on Walgreens. So we have 309,000 shares traded. Definitely one that we will keep on our list. It's a big drop this morning, Norm. We have earnings on these guys. What's going on with them?
Yep, they had earnings this morning, and even though they've been disappointing pretty much overall the last few years, they continue to disappoint this morning. So
Yeah, so nice big drop here. We're kind of holding this area here of resistance in the prior months, a couple of months or so right there. We got some area of resistance. We're kind of holding that towards the low of the day. Got a moving average down here. So nice big drop on WBA. Definitely worth watching. It's got some good volume, and the pre-market activity is looking good too. We got a nice little flow in here happening. So that's good for us to take a look at. ITCI. ITCI, let's see.
itchy.
Itchy, yes, what Brian Pest loves to call itchy. So this one this morning looks very active. 700,000 shares traded, down 8.7. Again, we
This
had.
one's on a secondary, Carlos.
Oh, it is. Oh man. Okay, that's
Yep.
unfortunate. So again, secondary offerings, guys, are usually very difficult to trade. I stay away from them, so I'll be doing the same here on this one. All right, guys. So that's what we have on our gappers list. Let's run through our Nasdaq active, Nasdaq gainers, NYMT not tradable, guys. Look at the volume: 9.7 million shares traded. But this is not a pre-market activity you want to be involved in. This is more a more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Algo-like trading. So again, you want to just stay away from this. MTP also has a very crappy pre-market activity, trading under $1, so more of a penny stock type style stock. So I'm going to avoid this one. Up 95%. That's easy to do when you're trading at 65 cents again. So don't be fooled by the numbers here. This is not a stock that we want to focus on this morning. Also, look at the volume, relatively low on a regular day. So they got 3.1. Which is causing a lot of movement here. SCYX, this one, another one again, 2.1, up 4%, more of a penny stock, guys, so we're not going to focus on this. Microsoft is on this list this morning with actually a decent pre-market activity today. They got some 1.3 million shares traded. I'm not sure why this is not in our gappers. Oh, it's not gapping up enough on the percentage, but this looks like it's going to be in play today. It's got a lot of volume. Not sure what's the news on this one this morning, but definitely worth watching. Now, Microsoft, we know it's not an easy stock to trade, but it's got a good pre-market activity today. We are, I believe, I'm not sure if we're all-time highs. I'm not sure if we are, but you do have a consolidation happening here for the recent highs. If we can break out of that, some good catalysts here, this can be good. So we'll keep an eye on that. AMD this morning, definitely worth watching. Again, AMD should be on our list going forward. It is one that has picked up the volume drastically over the last couple of days on the pre-market. 1.2 this morning. Looks like it wants to lose this consolidation area. So it's hanging out on a thread by the bottom of this here. So we'll see how that pre-market ends. But definitely worth watching AMD this morning. Looks very good. Here we have Apple, guys. Apple's another one that's also looking somewhat decent this morning. Good volume, 811,000 shares traded. It's pretty much flat right now. It's just hanging out the previous day close. I think a lot of these, AMD, Apple, Baba, and those are going to just be looking to see what the market responds this morning to the most recent events that have been happening. President will be talking this morning, as Norm mentioned too, so we'll be on the lookout for that. We might see some choppiness until that happens, right? That conference is going to say a lot of information people are going to be waiting for to see what will be the next response from the president there. BYND on our list already. Let's go
Beyond
over.
the meat.
Yes, beyond the meat. Let's go over to Nasdaq gainers. PIXY. Shift Pixie, whatever this company is, up 209% this morning with some again just some really questionable pre-market activity and a questionable daily chart as well. So I'm just gonna stay away from this questionable stock completely. If you guys have something else that you think about this, maybe a catalyst, something that's
Questionable name for sure.
questionable name. Everything is questionable in this stock, so we're just gonna just avoid it completely, guys. MTP, again, just more of a penny stock. We'll skip this one. APLT, this one also not great volume, not great pre-market activity. A lot of the volume sitting in this 23,000 shares that was dropped here, more of a block trade type style. Also, daily chart, guys. Look at the day. Daily is very important. This is how we find our levels, support, and resistance. This daily chart also doesn't look great. It doesn't have a great pattern. Look at this doji candlesticks. No volume usually on trading days. So again, not one you want to keep on your list. WAFU, nothing happening there. Next one, Sun W. Also, nothing going on here. It's got some volume, but look at the pre-market, not looking great. Daily chart's horrible. VSTM, more of a penny stock. It's got some volume, not a great pre-market activity. Trading under a buck, so we'll skip this as well. AXLA, no volume. SPI, no volume. STIB, nothing going on there. VBLT, no activity, and that was the last one on our list. Okay, excellent. Norm, what do you like this morning? I know you're going to be keeping your eyes on the scanners because nothing has looked too great. So I know you're going to be having eyes on scanners this morning.
Tesla.
But anything sticking out? Tesla.
Tesla.
Let's bring it
This
up for a
thing
second.
dropped last night. Our friend Pivots, you guys probably remember Pivots. He's a member of the room, and he used to be in
Yes.
every day, and then he got a new job, and he's not with us quite as much as he used to. He pops in every once in a while. This thing dropped after hours. He said he had gotten some, I think 470 puts, or dropped down to 452 ish, and it's all the way back up this morning. So definitely just strong as can be. I'm gonna
Just
have my eye on this.
unbelievable, man. This stock, I tell you, who would have thought this thing was trading at 180? I think it was just 6 months ago or so. We're at
Yep.
473, looking for that target of 500. So,
Well, I mean, hell, a week or so ago, we had Brian. Brian and I were talking on the mic, and our Benzinga Squawk mentioned somebody. There was a Tesla January 500 call sweep, and it's like somebody's betting in 3 weeks Tesla's going to be $500. They've got to be out of their minds.
yeah,
And here we
that is
come.
a risky bet. Just a couple of days ago,
The
and look at
guy
that,
is
we're
rich now.
$30 away from it. So, wow.
He's just praying that Elon doesn't come out with a secondary offering right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's his that is his prayer at the moment. All right, so guys, what else you guys like? Let's look at both chats here. So Mauricio is giving us APA for possible continuation. Yes, APA possible continuation. Volume is starting to pick up now, 78,000. Um, so we can get something out of this. We gotta look at the history here. This could repeat what it has done before in the past and just kind of chop around a little. You're probably not gonna get this big run today, but again, anything's possible. Just looking at what it has done before when it gaps up, kind of moves sideways a bit. So volume is a little bit on the lighter side as far as 78,000, not hitting 100 yet. So I think it will definitely be a secondary possible. I don't think it'll be a main one to watch right now. If things change volume wise or something, or if it hits a scanner, we can tune into it. But as of right now, it could be a good secondary one to watch. LEN. L.
Lennar, yeah.
Here we go. LEN. So what's the news on this one? Our volume is 102. We looks like we might be gapping up
They had
here
earnings.
3% earnings.
They had earnings. They had good earnings that came out earlier. They don't always trade super clean, these home builders. There are some days they do. But I'll have this. I think you got a wrong chart or something there. Yeah, there you
There it
go.
is. Yep.
I think they've definitely got a catalyst this morning after earnings. I will have it on my list, but I'll have it kind of down on a secondary just in case it does its normal, not great trading kind of deal.
Okay. Okay.
So
All right, so we'll definitely keep this one on here. I like the fact that we're breaking out of here. We're above this area that was prior support, so we got a little bit of room to run here, at least to the top of this consolidation. Usually, when you see these are very clean level, guys. This is a very clean level here and here, right? So when you just broke out of that, right? You had some resistance. You broke out of that this morning. You definitely have some room to get to at least this 60-50, right? There's no major resistance in this area getting up to that point. Now here, you start getting a little toppy. But again, that's a great move. You can get up there on this stock. So we'll put this on our list. Do some support and resistance at the moment. All right, so let's see what else we have here. AMC. I'm sorry, ACMR. Oops. ACMR. All right, it's got a nice daily chart. Very beautiful pops here. But again, the volume right now is very light. So it could be a good secondary. I'm not going to add it to my list. But this one could get going. If it still has some more juice here. Now, keep in mind the volume on the daily chart, guys. It seems on the lighter side. This thing's not even trading $1 million on a day. So just be cautious with that, right? We need a volume. Now, looking at this without knowing what the price action was, this traded very well yesterday. Very, very well. Very clean. But again, this could be one of those trades where, you have one order come in. The order flow is just going to be, very, very slow. And nothing wrong with that, right? If that's your style of trading. by all means, it is something you can, as long as you find your niche, you can hone in on it. That's all that really matters. So that,
Carlos.
yeah.
And just to your point where you said it doesn't even trade a million shares a day,
Mm-hmm.
its average volume is 136,000 shares a day. So
Oof.
the
Yeah.
liquidity in something like that is really sketchy,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's picking up the last few days. It's had better volume, but um,
Yeah, it's not the
that
norm.
worries me because if you have one person come in against you, that's
Oh, yeah.
hypothetically some institution that wants to dump their shares, you could just lose it so fast before you could even get out of it.
Yep, yep. And even sometimes, even with a hard stop, guys, you have something like that happen, it'll just gap down and it'll blow by your stop.
Yeah.
Whether you had a market order or limo, it doesn't matter. It'll blow by your stop, and that could be scary. Um, all right, so let's see what else, guys. What else we have here? BA. I see BA coming up a lot in our chat. Let's look at BA this morning. So BA is kind of stuck in a very
Yep.
nasty consolidation area here, right in the middle of this. Let's remove these levels. Um, do they have any news today or any?
Oh, they had another plane crash last
Oh,
night.
yeah, that's right. I did see that. The
So
737. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah.
right after 737 crashed after taking off um, in Iran just after they had sent all kinds of missiles at our
Mm-hmm.
bases in Iraq. So it was a little bit of a weird headline to see come out in the midst of all that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're saying it's a mechanical issue. I haven't heard a whole lot of other details of what they think it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was a Ukrainian airliner and killed everybody on board, unfortunately.
Jeez,
So
man. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they're
I did see that. Yeah.
anything. It should be interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see, guys. I'm shocked this thing has not dropped today, especially if there's any ideas of mechanical issue and not a
You guys are right. It was not a 737 Max. Those are all grounded,
no, no, it's a
but it
it's a
was a
regular. Right,
737.
right.
The last thing they need is any plane to crash that has Boeing's name on it right now.
Exactly, exactly. So, but we'll see. I'm sure. Again, with all the news going on, and you got a lot of stuff happening. Also, I think Carlos from Nissan is on. It was live this morning talking as well. So there's a lot of attention being driven everywhere else. So we'll see how this reacts this morning. So definitely worth watching on that catalog. That's a big one. We'll see how that reacts this morning. We'll also be looking out for what happens when they report what actually happened. If it was a mechanical issue again, man, that's not going to be good. If it was a pilot error or whatever the case may be, weather related, that's different. All right.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Yep. So
And
we'll,
just commenting, some people are saying it was an older plane. A 3-year-old airplane is not an older airplane.
no, 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 no. That's a brand new
Usually,
plane.
yeah, it's a brand new airplane. When you fly around, it's not uncommon to be sitting on a 30-year-old airplane sometimes.
Easily, easily, easily. Yep, yep. So again, that's as new as it gets. All right, so let's see, YouTube guys. What do you guys have here? We have Tesla on our list already. RJ's giving us Apex. Let's see what Apex is up to. We got a couple of minutes here. Apex penny stock, so I'm not gonna look at that one. CEI, we'll do a few more on here. CEI guys. This one's on the American Stock Exchange. The energy stock, I usually don't trade these, don't have them on my main watch list. They are tradable, you can watch this, but the patterns are a little bit funky. Look at the way it trades on the intraday. Again, it's just not really our style of trading, so I'm going to skip this one here. Macy's we have, so that's on our list already. We'll do one more. TVIX. So Cynthia, TVIX is a stock that we will trade depending on what happens with the market. So I usually, I don't usually scalp TVIX, but if we get a huge drop or something on the market and you can kind of time the pullback, this can be a good one where you can take a scalp on it, for a couple of cents or so. The key thing here is to be aggressive on your entry and exit. When I mean aggressive, I don't mean size. I mean you got to get in and get out immediately, because as fast as it goes up, the same way it comes back the other direction. Because usually this is really only in play when the SPY moves really aggressive in one direction or the other. All right, so that is what we have, guys. Oh, I like some of the ones I'm seeing here. SDC. Let's look at that. So this one has been holding here. I'm not sure how I traded yesterday. Yesterday didn't look so clean, but it's been holding here. So it had a good day 2 days ago that we traded it on. Could be a good continuation, but the volume right now is not all that great. And the pre-market is not all that great neither. And then one more I see here that I want to check out is Nvidia as well. Let's look at Nvidia. Nvidia this morning pretty much is kind of laying low for a bit here. Has some volume, but not really doing much in the pre-market activity. We can look out for this in our scanners. All right, guys, let's get over to announcements. No, I'm going to start with one slide first. I think this is going to be very important today. I haven't shown you this yet, but I think we really want to emphasize what we have going on today.
Yeah, we got Randy Howell. Is a world famous trading psychologist. Will be talking to us in our success webinar. It is at noon. It's a special time. It'll be in the Lifetime chat room or Lifetime classroom, and he's going to talk about how you manage your emotions during the heat of a trade so that your scarcity thinking does not kick in and sabotage your trading plan. So as most of us know, psychology is a massive, massive, massive part of trading. So we are really excited to have him here. And it says Wednesday, January 6th. It's Wednesday, January 8th. It is today. All right, guys. So on to the regular announcements. Holiday promotion. We still have that promo code live. If you use the promo code holidays19, you'll get 40% off a lifetime one-time payment membership. Just use it at checkout, holidays19. DAS replay feature is live so that you can trade after hours or historical charts. In DAS, one note on that, it is only available in the Bearable Traders version of the DAS simulator. If you have it through IB like I do or something of that nature, it is not part of that. It is only the simulator that you get through Bearable Traders for right now, at least. Success webinars, as I mentioned, Randy Howell today at noon in the Lifetime classroom. Eamon talking about trading different ABCD patterns. Next week, we got Chart Log guys that created it's great journaling program to discuss it with us on the 22nd. And Naz and Andrew will be talking about day trading options on the 29th. Meetups in Seattle. We've got January 18th. Andrew will be there. You don't have to be a member, just RSVP at the forum link that AB will put up so that we know how many will attend. Andrew will be excited to see you guys and buy you a drink. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube and have not tried out the chat room, you can do so with the promo code with the discount promo code premarket24. Does not auto renew or turn into any other kind of membership. If you guys, I usually don't throw this out there, but on Twitter, you can follow Carlos at Carlos M BBT, Carlos M, like Mike BBT, or me at Norm BBT, and we throw out some of these announcements from time to time as well. So that's all I got.
All right, excellent. All right, folks. So let's do some quick levels here. First, let's go over this list. We got quite a bit here, so let's reduce this list to see what we like. So we're not going to watch all of this. BYND definitely on our list. It has a catalyst with the McDonald's deal, so we'll watch that one. Macy's has earnings, so we'll keep this on watch as well. STZ, guys, I'm not liking the way the pre-market is right now. So we're going to remove this one because we have way too many. Got to fine-tune this list a little bit. LK, I'm going to remove also from this list. I'd rather watch like a WBA. WBA has a nice drop here, down 5.8, some good volume. So let's keep this one on watch. ITCI, I think is worth watching. Also, big drop. Oh, no, I take that back. Norm, this is the one with the secondary offering, I believe. A reverse split. Which one was this one? I know Norm had mentioned that. So if that's the case, wait for Norm to come back. He probably stepped out to get some tea there. But I think that's the one. If it is, we'll just going to remove that one. Microsoft has a great pre-market activity. We'll definitely keep this one on watch. AMD, I like that AMD is losing this area of consolidation, so we'll keep this one. Apple, we could remove Apple. Apple could be a good secondary, so we'll remove it from here. Tesla, we have to keep Tesla. There's no way you cannot have Tesla on your watch list today. I know it's an expensive stock, and it's getting way out of my league now at 500 and something. But even if I have to take 2 shares on this stock, I will take 2 shares on this stock. This stock is just unbelievable. LEN, this one, guys, I'm going to remove it at the moment. I'm going to take this one out for right now. LEN could be a good possible. I'm going to bring it down here, as Norm mentioned that earlier today. BA also has got possible CAS with the plane crash, so we'll keep that on there as well. And so we have Microsoft, AMD, still have way too many. All right, so ITCI, I'm gonna remove this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we could do these 7, and then when Andrew comes on in a couple of minutes, he can go over his watch. You can fine tune this a little bit more. So BYND, guys, let's find some levels here. We do have the high of the pre-market sitting at 90.10. Let's mark that down. And then towards the bottom, you got the previous day close and the high from yesterday around $84. A beautiful mark there. You also have that beautiful resistance at the previous day close, so that's going to be nice to stay above that. I like the fact that we are above that now. We have a lot of room to run here, guys, if we can get above this 89.98 towards that area. Even getting towards this area here, you can see we already tested in the pre-market twice. If we can get back up there, that would be nice. The next area of resistance will be this 96.57, which is the bottom of this gap here. And then above that, you do have an area of consolidation here, 106.21. Now, this stock is known for taking off, guys, so it can trade very well. We'll keep an eye on this one today. It has a great pre-market activity and some really good volume, 859. Macy's at the moment, 2 million shares traded so far. On here, however, pre-market sitting at 1906. Above that, if we can get going, we have here this area here, 26. Look at the high of the pre-market sitting right now at the low of this gap down here as well. And then above that, we have 26, another level here of support and resistance. Towards the bottom, you got plenty for Macy's. Now, keep in mind, guys, Macy's has a lot of volume at the open, can tend to be very, very choppy, so be aware of that. It's one of those stocks that doesn't trade very clean sometimes, but today they have some catalysts on here, so hopefully that can create some good price action. WBA is getting hammered this morning. Definitely one we want to keep on our list. 55.35, low of the pre-market. Above this, we do have a nice little support area right in here around 56.87. So mark this area down here. You can see change in direction. That's a nice nice level to have. Also, you can see some resistance happening around that 56.87. Below our 55.34, if we head back down and test that low, we do have a beautiful 53.65 here as well. Look at the support you're seeing at that number, support and resistance happening there. Just one more, guys, because it's just sticking out. When you have these levels that are so great sticking out like this, you just got to mark them. 51.98. You can see how beautiful that drops there, takes off. And also, if you go back, look how that was also resistance for this couple of days here, doing a nice double bottom before it broke out of that. So again, 58.98, worth putting on the list there. So Microsoft, this one, I don't think you need to add any more levels at the moment besides this one all the way up here, because right now you're stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. It's been consolidating. So again, it's got a great pre-market activity. Might not make our final list, but this pre-market activity is looking very nice on Microsoft. So if it can trade well at the open, we can take advantage of it. Here's AMD. AMD I definitely like. Is barely holding on to the bottom of this consolidation over the last couple of days. If it can lose that, we have an error here at 46.67. Another one over here at 44.86. Also be on the lookout for this moving average on here as well. So again, that's all you need to add on AMD. If we can get a nice run towards the bottom, we might be giving some back here. But it's just barely holding on to this the bottom of this consolidation. Here is Tesla. Tesla, only thing we need to add is the low of the pre-market. And the all-time high now at unbelievably at a 478, heading towards 500. The way this thing is moving. So again, Tesla has been great to trade, guys. It's been trading very, very well. It just continues to be very strong. Every time it does a pullback, the buyers are stepping in and taking this higher. So that's Tesla. Next, we have BA. So BA, again, they got some bad news with the 737. That was not the MAX, a different plane that crashed last night, killing everybody on board. So that's going to hopefully, not hopefully, that's the bad news, but hopefully have an effect on this stock. But I think right now it's pretty flat. So I'm surprised it hasn't done a lot of movement, hasn't dropped down. So again, I think we'll be cautious on to see how it reacts towards that news. All right, guys, so we have plenty there. APA is a possible. I'm not going to mark levels for that one. And also LEN is a possible as well. So that's what we have. I'm going to... Andrew should be coming on any minute. I'm going to turn off my camera on the chat room, but I will keep this one on in YouTube at the moment. Macy's, not Microsoft. Yeah, we actually have both on here, but I might take Microsoft off. We'll see as we get closer to that 9:15, 9:30 time frame. All right. Good morning, Andrew. How you doing today?
Good morning, everyone. I am doing all right.
Good
I
morning,
miss
Andrew.
everyone.
Welcome back. Look at you in your office.
Yes,
And no
yes.
braids in your hair.
Hey, what happened to the braids?
So, guys, I was in the last week. I was in Tulum in Mexico, and there were a couple of good DJs were playing. My wife loves electronic music, so Black Coffee. I don't know if any one of you are in electronic music. So Black Coffee was playing there, so we went there, and yeah, he's a really good DJ, and we partied all night. So my
Nice.
brain is still on ecstasy and MDMA and all of those stuff. So let's see if it's affecting my trading or it's actually. All right. So yeah, thank you so much. And sorry, I was planning to trade in the last 2 days, but again, because we just raved all night, and in the morning I really couldn't, get back into the
Here's
trading.
Andrew raved so hard he actually got braids. This is his picture here getting braids.
Yeah, I also did that night.
And then he got this tattoo.
Yeah,
Good
that's
stuff.
actually temporary. That's
Yeah, no, but
temporary.
it's for fun. Yep, yep, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, guys, gonna hand it over to Andrew. Guys, on YouTube, take care. Trade safe. We will finalize our list now. Andrew's gonna come on with the chat room. And Andrew, do you want to keep YouTube on or?
Yeah, keep it on. Keep it
Okay.
on.
All right,
Our
perfect.
amazing YouTube people who just watch us for free every day and do not sign up
No,
and
we
don't
got some
contribute.
good people
But
there.
I'm
Good
just
people.
kidding. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome to stay us. Yeah. Let's go all the way to the open. I just want to go through my list quickly, and you guys are doing an amazing job. So, I mean, I'm sure you mentioned that last night there was an attack from Iran to two bases in Iraq on US. Market dropped. And then at around 9:40, everyone said, wait a minute, what are we doing? This market is going to go up. And then again, everything just back up. Nothing can bring this market down. So having said that, we have a really good watch list right now. So I'm definitely going to freeze this. President is speaking at 11 a.m. Awesome. Oh my God, that's good. Yeah, so that's good. That might be actually, if the statement is really bad, like, we're going to attack and we're going to destroy Iran, then we probably going to have some fun with TVIX. Yeah, so could go nuts. Definitely could go nuts. Yeah, let's see. So, but other than that, I mean, we can go over our usual suspects. But tonight, did you? I'm sure you guys mentioned, but let me actually bring my own. Screen quickly. I am sure you guys discussed that already, but we have the Success Workshop webinar tonight. And Randy Howell, he's a trading psychologist how do I present this? Yeah. So Randy has agreed to, he has done a lot of work on, decision making for traders, and we invited him to come and give us a 1 hour presentation. And the topic of his presentation is scarcity thinking, the real problem behind fear-based trading. And he talks about the techniques to manage the emotion during the heat of a trade, and how you actually yourself don't sabotage the trading. And yes, it's going to be recorded, that's for sure, for all of the traders lifetime members. It would be available. It takes probably a day or two to process. But another news is that the person who's actually doing this facilitation is actually Mike B in the chat room. So Mike B is one of our chat rooms. I don't know. Oh, it's actually at noon. So okay. So okay, let me fix that. I am extremely sorry. Yeah. So yeah, it's actually at noon. So I do apologize for that. This is specifically, this one is at noon. And Mike B is going to moderate this one, because Mike, he's retiring from U.S. military, but he did a lot of leadership and development for U.S. military, and I think he's done a lot of work on psychology as well. So I think he would be a really good person to facilitate the talk and questions and answers and stuff. So I don't know if Mike B is in the chat room today right now or not, but anyways. All right, guys, so just that quick announcement. And I'm now just going through my own watch list. So I'm just, yes. So sorry about the time. All right, so let's go through the watch list for me quickly. Macy's is popping higher, 3.8%. It was a little bit crazy before 8, but it seems really good and active right now. I do like the volume and price action is really good. So 18.99 seems like a level that we bounced back on a daily chart. What we got? Oh yeah, beautiful. So this 18.99. Did you see, guys? It just quickly came in, and it's actually around the moving average. So roughly around the moving average, we had some rejection, and we can see what we got. What other levels do we have? There's a gap here. So this gap, yeah, there's a gap down here at around 1888, and I don't think that we have much of a level after that. Back, if we come back around here, yeah. So there is also a big level down here at previous day close. So let's see how it does. It doesn't seem that it seems that we have a really good area to trade around. And yeah, so that's this LEN. Quickly, what's that one up to? Yeah, kind of a meh price action, not a lot of activity. So Beyond popped up 4%. Really nice price action in the pre-market. It's active. We do have on a daily chart. Oh, we had a really big day yesterday, and yeah, so probably seems the high of pre-market is around 90. It's around 90.08. So there's a high of pre-market, and then there's a gap. The gap are important. So this is a gap. So this gap from 96.69 all the way to 90. So there's a gap. So usually these gap fills are interesting for Wall Street. So this gap fill is interesting to have. I'll quickly look into that. SPNE popped up, some decent price action. Daily chart is horrible. Daily chart looks really horrible. It's a low float stock, so I'm not sure if SPNE I want to put in my watch. Let's see what else we have. It's a low float, it's less than 20 million shares. STZ is interesting, popped up 2.6%. Oh, horrible price action. The daily chart is really bad, so not a big fan of the daily chart. LX, the next one is LX. I don't know, STZ, I'm not sure if I really like it or not. STZ, the daily chart, seems like it wants to pop above 15. The daily chart looks really toppy, but it's really not active. The reason that it's actually hit our scanner is because of just this one block trade, and you see actually the block trade here. So there is only one block trade. So this is called block trade, 360,000, and this is a block trade, so that's why it hit the scanner. Other than that, there's really no activity. So this is called block trade, guys. I mean, this is a transaction between two institution or market maker. LK, we traded LK in the past. It's kind of active. It's not that bad, but I actually like it. I like it. I mean, if it loses 34, it might go through 32. The float is 38 million shares. And yeah, so that could be interesting, LK. I mean, the levels that we have, let me remove all of these levels. Yeah, so there is two levels around 32, the low of the pre-market, and then we have this previous day high. So I kind of like that, LK. So we'll keep that on my watch. WBA, we traded WBA in the past a lot. So that one's 5%. The low of the pre-market on a 1 minute chart, you can easily see around 55.65. And there is a level obviously at 56.78, which is a bounce around in this area. So that's a level that I like, and to look into that. And there's a moving average down there at around 55. This 200 moving average is usually very strong. In terms of Macy's, you see that already bounced back in the pre-market. So these 200 moving averages, you got to really take them seriously. There's one level up here at 57.75, and yeah, it looks decent. I actually like WBA. Float on WBA is 740 million shares, so it's good. ITCI. ITCI on the daily chart. So this one popped up a couple of weeks ago and it's slowly losing it. Right now it's down 10%, but we do have shares for short. So Stock Interactive Broker has the inventory if you want to borrow. There is a moving average at 25.61, and I do like the price action in the pre-market. Daily chart is kind of fading, but I do like the price in the pre-market. So I definitely keep an eye on ITCI. And INPX is a low float stock, probably going to be garbage. Yeah, kind of garbage. Lower priced. SPNE also is no. STZ, no. Higher price, no activity. LX, no activity, delete. So these are going to be for me. And someone mentioned MU. How's MU and AMD doing? Yeah, MU, look at that huge day. Damn, MU. Yeah, so MU has been really active yesterday. So that could be a continuation play. So I'll keep an eye MU as well. What about AMD? AMD lost it. It might go down to 47. It's a little bit weak now. So the moving average is around 47.18. So it could be around that area. So for me, I think my watch list would be M, LEN, Beyond, LK, WBA, ITCI, and usual suspects, MU and AM. So I'm just posting it. I think it's pretty much close to everyone on my watch. For B, M, LEN, Beyond, LK, WBA, ITCI, and usual suspects, MU and AMD. Yes, so that's it for me, guys. Brian, good morning.
Okay, good morning.
How is everything?
So,
Tesla is at
good.
470. Are you kidding me?
I know, crazy, eh?
God.
I was watching it yesterday. I was just saying, like, this thing looks like it wants to go to 500. Really does.
Yeah, that definitely does look like it.
Yeah. EPDN looks a little interesting this morning. It's a swing trade I have on. LK is another one. Still got some shares in that. It's down a little bit, but still above my entry. So I'll be watching that at the open, and if it starts to slide, I'll bail on it. What else we got going? Netflix is up a little bit.
Yes.
What else?
So what is your watch list? Did you post it ITCI, WA, or Roku? You also mentioned Roku. Roku went up back again. So
yeah, Roku's been good. Really sold off hard. It had couple of good days, and then it really sold off. So sold off yesterday. But I actually traded. You'll like this story. I've traded AMD 3 times. Traded it Friday, traded it Monday, and traded it yesterday.
It's off my ban. Permanent ban on your.
It's off my ban list.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, that's good. I mean, AMD has been really active, and I see people. I mean, I see Hilal and everyone sharing their trades. Richard and Mir and everyone. They have really good trades on that recently.
Yeah, no, it was good at the open. As soon as the open, as soon as that first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I won't trade it anymore. It's too hard to read. So I'm just wondering if Itchy's going to be a rising devil trade, ITCI.
ITCI, yeah. So any pop, so rising devil, for those of the people who don't know, the rising devil is when the stock is gapping down and weak, like 10%, and daily chart also looks like a really good setup. Any pop near the VWAP, so the VWAP is at 2850, so any pop near VWAP can actually be a good opportunity to go short. It's not on short selling restriction yet, but it's probably getting right on the short selling restriction because it's over 10%. So you don't get filled on the way down. So you have to add liquidity to the market. So you have to add your limit order, so you get filled only on the upticks. So that's your only chance. A lot of people might actually put already orders in there. I mean, that's one strategy. You can put one or 28.25, 28.33, but you should have a hard stop somewhere. Say, okay, if it closes above the V, I'm getting out, because sometimes these weak stocks at the open, they just open very strong and just keep going higher. Did I explain right? And that was
yeah, it's good. The only thing I wish, it's up quite a, it's come off quite a bit, so it's not a perfect setup on the daily, for sure. You'd like to see strength into a gap down, and this is not. This is weakness into a gap down. So WBA, I was thinking about maybe a rising devil trade as well, but it is now above the VWAP, so you can't really short it at the VWAP if it's above it. So sometimes these trades actually, when they gap down and close above the VWAP, it's what I call the drop and pop trade. So it gap down is the drop, and then these things tend to squeeze up. So that's another thing to watch on WBA.
So for example, I can put already some orders on ITCI, like at 28.20, for example, to short. Yeah. So I'm already can, for example, put my, let's see, for example, for 200 shares. And limits at, let's just see, for example, for fun. So this is how you do it. You just use the smart limit, and like 200 shares, you could put, I want to sell at 28.20, for example. And then you press short. And then the orders are getting accepted. So you're here, your order is already sitting in the book. And then, you're just getting filled. Or what you can do is, you can see my order here as well. So what you can do, you can actually have it in different, areas. So 200 shares, you can go short at 28.40. So you can actually put it that way too. So if you want.
So it looks like the other thing that's going, I should probably throw on my watch list is Boeing. Boeing had it. There's another Boeing crash. I don't know if anyone's caught that news.
Yeah, it was in Iran. There was an Ukrainian airline.
Yes, and it's Boeing is selling off.
Roku on a daily chart. Roku on a daily chart looks weak.
It's definitely pulling back.
Brian, I just sent you a text on your phone if you have it handy.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any? We don't have time. I was going to ask something, but I was wondering if you have traders from Dubai. Maybe we can have a meetup in Dubai. So Macy's will close the gap at 18. So we have to see. For me, some traders, they have the direction already biased before the market opens. So they say, okay, I want to go long or short. But I don't. Right now, I can't really say. Macy's can come above the VWAP and just punch through all of these levels and goes through a break of 19. As you say, close the gap, it means going up all the way to 19. Or it can just opens really weak and just keeps going down. I don't know. I wait for the opening ranges. So I wait to analyze the orders. So there's also a lot of orders coming. You can have the imbalance data. So there's actually not imbalance on Macy's yet, but sometimes there's a lot of market open orders coming from market makers that makes it very complicated at the open. So that's why I wait. Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, YouTube people. Really appreciate you guys coming, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. So that's YouTube.